And yes, we're back. Yes, we're back for another episode of Ohtobewhole with your girl, Camille Young. Just so happy that you all are here for another Thursday, dropping some knowledge, waiting for y'all to get down in those comments so we can have a little back and forth in there. I appreciate you so very, very much. Again, thank you to my holy rollers. I'm always going to say hello to you, my faithful subscribers, my holy rollers. So glad you're here week after week. And to my new viewers, welcome. Welcome to the Ohtobewhole channel. Be sure to subscribe so you too can become a holy roller. And thank you just so much for being here. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, some of you are just watching. Okay, some of you are just watching and you just hadn't hit that little red button that says subscribe. Go ahead and press that button. Press that button that says subscribe and then hit the little bell so it notifies you every time I come on and drop new content for the week. Okay, so again, thank you for being here. If you are wanting some coaching support, whether it's around grief, whether it's around your relationship, even domestic violence. I was in domestic violence victims advocacy for over 10 years. So I can provide you some support there as well. So reach out to me at ohtobewhole@gmail.com. That's ohtobewhole@gmail.com. All righty. Now that all of that is out of the way, let's get started. So today, I just want to bring a peace of mind to some of you all out there who are kind of struggling in your relationships, or you're just struggling in life in general. And I just want to encourage you by saying you'll never find perfection. Okay? It's that simple. Say it with me. You'll never find perfection. And I just really want to encourage you with that on today, because many times we may find ourselves looking for perfection within ourselves or looking for perfection in other people. And that's just not fair to us or to the people that we're expecting it from. We are not perfect beings. The last perfect beings were Adam and Eve, who were in the Garden of Eden. And after they sinned, perfection for the human race was completely over, and we will never arrive at complete perfection until either Jesus comes back and takes us home, or until we leave this earth and our spirit goes to be in heaven with God. So we need to get that out of our minds that we can be perfect, or that the person that we may be dating, the person that we are maybe engaged to, the person that you may be married to, even your children. Y'all, it's not going to happen. Now, is perfection something that we can strive for? Sure. Now, understanding that even in striving for perfection, you always have to leave wiggle room for error, because we're not perfect, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to err in the things that we do. So that's the problem with being a perfectionist. Okay? A perfectionist does not want to make mistakes. A perfectionist does not want to be able to look back on things and say, I messed up. Many times perfectionists will point the finger. They're looking to be accusers of those who did not do it properly. But when it comes to them, they don't want to accept any blame. And many times they're the ones who make the mistakes, but they want grace when they make the mistakes. But many times the perfectionists, they don't want to give grace when the error may not have been their fault. But saying all that to say that perfection is not achievable on this side of heaven, and that is okay. Do you continue to try? Absolutely. Absolutely. You try to do your best in all that you do. You want to walk in a spirit of excellence in everything that you do. You want to do your best. You want to be your best. You want to present the best version of yourself when you come to the world, whether it's on your job, whether it's at church, whether it's with your friends, with your family members, whether it's with a stranger, wherever you are, you always want to try to present the best version of yourself to the world. And many times in doing that, we think that we have to remain error-free, and that is not true. That's just not true. And I want you to know that in that relationship that you're in, whether it's a marital relationship or a dating relationship, understand that that person is not going to be perfect. A wise woman told me years ago, Miss Glenda Snyder, she said, you always have to leave a little room for error in your mind for your mate, because they are going to disappoint you. Why? Because they're human. Just like you're human. I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes even when I think I'm making a good decision, or I'm trying to make the best decision, or where I'm trying not to be hurtful or harmful in the moves that I may be making, or the things that I may be saying. I still could make an error. I still can do things that can hurt you. We still can do things to hurt people, even if that's not our intention. So we cannot expect perfection from other people. I did a video just a few weeks ago, so maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, talking about you can't change anybody. You have to accept people as they are and hope they can make some adjustments, because I always believe love is the most powerful force in the world. There is no force more powerful than love. And when you love somebody, you try to make the adjustments to make their life better. And it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. One person can't do all the adjusting. Okay? It has to be both people. We're talking about relationships and perfection. Both people have to be willing to make the adjustments, to be willing to make the sacrifices in order to make the relation work well, and to bring it to some level of perfection for you. Not perfection of without error, but it works for you, your relationship, and how you all have designed your relationship. It's perfect for you. And many of you are stressing out because you may not feel like you're perfect in the relationship, and you're constantly trying to do this and trying to do that, and not, trying to present yourself as something that you're not in the relationship. And that's not healthy. That is not healthy, because you are not a perfect person. All right. You are going to make a mistake in your relationship. And if the person that you're dating is not able to deal with mistakes that you make, and you all can't talk through them and get through them, that may not be the person for you. Now, if you're in a marriage, then you need to learn how to communicate, talk through those things, and make sure that you all are able to be honest with each other, and not only just be honest, but apologize when you're wrong. What's wrong with I'm sorry? What's wrong with I apologize? What's wrong with saying the words, I made an error? Will you please forgive me? Please forgive me. That was not my intention. And even if it was your intention, hey, I apologize. I should not have done that. I should not have said that. What's wrong with saying those words? I've never understood the two things that people find so hard to say is I apologize, or I'm sorry, or I love you. Those two things, saying one of those two things could change the whole trajectory of a situation. It could change the whole trajectory of your relationship just by being willing to say I'm sorry and or I love you. All right? And there is no perfect love outside of the love of Christ, the love of God. That's that love that is unconditional, that agape love. And yes, we strive for that. That is the goal. That is definitely the goal. But understanding that God understands that we're not perfect beings. That's why he created an opportunity for us to repent. He gave us the opportunity for us to repent of the things that we do, because he knew we would make errors. And it's our job to repent and ask for forgiveness, and then turn away from whatever it is we're doing and do the right thing and do what you know to be right. So I really just wanted to, let you know that the idea of perfection, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. And nobody likes to fail. That's not a good feeling. I mean, nobody wants to be in a place where, all eyes are on you, when something has not gone the way that you've planned it. Yeah, that's not a good feeling. But it's human and it happens to you every day. I think I remember somebody, I don't remember who, but they say that you are not, you cannot grow unless you fail. And when you fail, you should learn from those failures, which causes you to grow. All right? You have to, some failures, I know for me, not all failures, but there have been some failures in my life that have opened my eyes, and God graced me enough where I may have just gotten a scratch or, a pinch and not bust my head wide open on it. But I learned, I was able to learn from it. And that's how we really need to look at our failures, or those places where we have not done well or did not do what it is that we thought we were able to do. We need to learn from them. We need to learn from them. We don't need to find ourselves burying ourselves in guilt and shame and doubt and discouragement and fall into a depression because we fail. No, that's not the response to failure. The response to failure is accepting, okay, you know what? I messed up. I did this wrong. Okay, now what can I do differently? One, to make sure that I don't do that again. And if there's some correcting that needs to happen, if there's some apologizing that needs to happen, let me do that. Let me make sure that I do that. And then from there, you move on. And hopefully the people around you who you may have failed, or even if it was yourself, you'll give yourself the grace to say, hey, I made a mistake. God forgives me. Why can't I forgive myself? God forgives me. Why can't you forgive me? And sometimes it may take time. It depends on what that failure was. It may take time for people to forgive you, but you do have to forgive yourself first. You have to admit, okay, I did this wrong. This was a error on my part. So I gotta forgive me. Let me accept my wrong. Let me forgive me, and then be sure to extend an apology to the person that I may have wronged or may have caused a bad situation to happen in their life. So I just hope that as you're going through life, that you are not walking in life as a perfectionist, not only for yourself. Don't be a perfectionist yourself, but don't project that on other people to be perfectionists. Don't expect people to be perfect. You cannot. People are going to make mistakes. And I'm saying it to myself. You can have a high respect and a high expectation for someone, and that's okay to have, but understand that they are human and they will make errors as well, okay? As the lady, Miss Snyder, told me, make room in your head for people to err, okay? You gotta leave room and space for that because people will disappoint you. People will let you down. And you have to be able to accept that and then be able to forgive, especially when we're talking about relationships, even amongst siblings, parents, whatever the relationship may be. Leave that room in your mind for error and open yourself up for grace and to forgive and to be forgiven. Okay? You got to do that. You got to do that. So I hope that this lifts a load off of some people's minds who may be having an expectation of perfection from their spouse, from their child, from their parent, from a friend, from a coworker, whoever it is. Make sure you take that off them and take it off yourself, because that is a life where you're setting yourself up to fail. You really are setting yourself up to be a failure because you think you won't, because you're trying to be a perfectionist, okay? All right, well, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Ohtobewhole. Remember to subscribe. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Also, like, share, and comment. And I look forward to meeting with you on the next time. But until then, God bless.